Hello, what's going on? My name is Kristen Ford and I am a musician based out of Nashville, Tennessee. Today we're here to talk about multiple streams of income as a musician, because the more time that you have to spend doing something else to make money that's not music adjacent, that doesn't fulfill your passion, the more that takes you away from the good stuff. And I also think that from a mindset perspective, just being aware of the abundance, being aware of all of the ways that money can flow into your existence and can flow into your life is great for your mental health. It's great for your writing and your music and helping you share your passion with the world. So let's dive right into it, and stay tuned for the end of the video where I'll give you a bonus. While you're here, hit that like, subscribe. I really appreciate you. And number one way of making money as a musician, you probably got this: live performances. No matter what level you're at, live performances are probably going to be the lion's share of where your money's coming from. So we've got door ticket sales, tips, that's Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, in-person or online tips. Make sure you get a QR code so that if people don't have cash on them, it's easy for them to scan that tip jar and hook you up, or have the QR code at your merch table. Speaking of merch table, merch sales. Some t-shirts, have some CDs, vinyl, whatever for sale. You can make money. Your live performance is VIP experiences. So maybe somebody gets to come to sound check, or there's a special room. You do an acoustic performance. You take a couple pictures of people. That ticket costs more, and then of course they can go to your show. Finally, you've got live performance royalties, which means after the show you're going to report your live show, and quarterly you should get paid a little bit for playing your own original music. Sponsorships or branded partnerships. Maybe you get a local car dealership to sponsor your tour, and you put their brand behind your merch table and they hook it up. Or I've heard of whiskey companies or vodka companies sponsoring things. Music brands. Just be creative. You never know. All right, number two, we've got online sales, consignment, and out of the trunk sales. So music for sale on CD, digital download, vinyl, cassette, Bandcamp, Apple Music downloads, selling your music. That's one. You've got shirts, hats, sweaters, koozies, posters. You can get really creative with the type of merchandise you can sell, especially if it's print on demand, and you can have a almost unlimited supply. Is this helping me seem professional? I got dogs to support here. That's why this is happening. It's multiple streams of income. Another thing you can sell online or consignment is commission, where you write a song, record a dedication, do an online or in-person house show, where they say, hey, I'll pay you $500 to come and play my backyard. Cool. Maybe the dogs won't be bothering you while you do it. Who knows? Another way is a site called Ko-Fi. That's Ko-Fi. People can tip you or buy you a coffee. You can create a paypal.me link, or Patreon is a monthly way that people can become patrons and support you. You could also do like a VIP fan club if you're not a big fan of Patreon, but you want to have that online every month dedicated income coming in. And then finally, commission sales at record shops, pop-up festivals, Etsy, Poshmark. You never know. You could have your band t-shirts for sale a lot of different spots. You are in the clothing game, at the point that you have a shirt for sale. Number three is sync and licensing placements. That's getting your song into TV, movie, commercials, which it's important that when you go into the studio, you make sure that everybody signs off on who has the rights to what, and that you have what's called a one-stop clearance, where that song is good to go. If they have a tight turn time and they need the song for a deadline for a TV show, they know they're not going to have any legal hiccups, and it's easy breezy. So those forms, make sure you're filling them out in the studio, and while you're there and working with the engineer, let them know you're going to need an instrumental version of the song as well as an a cappella or vocals up version of the song, where they just boost the decibels of just the vocals. So having instrumental versions of songs for sale, which could be part of hip-hop tracks or a sync library, or you could offer them for sale on like soundbetter.com. And then also you can sell a commission song. There's a website called Songfinch where you can earn, I think, $100 for writing a song up to specs of what somebody wants. So that is sync and licensing, and there's people who have had a lot more experience with that I recommend you. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, especially if you have a great home recording setup and you can write and record something that is very specific for what they need, how long they need it, what they want it to sound like, where the stops are. That stuff's great to do, but if you're creating music and you're going in the studio, you might as well set yourself up for success. You never know, you might get a cool sync placement, which pays money. All right, streams of income. We've got private events and colleges. So playing music for a private party, a wedding, a corporate event, or playing background music. Christmas time, I'll do like a looping show where I'm just playing acoustic guitar and looping Christmas songs while people have their holiday party or whatever. Hotels have lobbies where you're just kind of going to be wallpaper, but they might pay you really well. Colleges, you can work with the group NACA, National Association of Campus Activities, to get into the flow of booking schools, or you can reach out to the campus activities board yourself. A lot of times they're working on the fall semester in the spring, and they're working on the spring semester in the fall. So you gotta, did I say that right? Colleges, they work far in advance. People plan their wedding in advance. But corporate parties, a lot of times you can charge way more money. So that's a great way, another stream of income. Hey, speaking of streams, that sets me up perfectly for this next one. Streaming income. So quarterly payments from DistroKid, cdbaby, TuneCore, whatever your digital aggregator is that gets your music on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, you are going to get income from that streaming. There's also a platform called Soundexchange, which collects payments from YouTube and other digital platforms where you might not even know that money is out there. It could be 6 months or years in the past and just waiting for you to say, hey, I wrote that song. Hey, what's up? And then bam, another stream of income. In terms of streaming income, royalties. So you're going to register your songs with your performing rights organization, ASCAP, BMI, CSAC in the United States. There's different ones for different countries. Guys, I'm making a video. Hey! Radio airplay, streaming, they're going to owe you royalties. And also, for the live performance royalties, every time somebody has the license to offer live music, sell tickets, have a certain capacity, they are paying a fee to ASCAP or whatever to have that in place. And you might as well get that money, otherwise it's going to go to one of the big names that they really don't need the money probably as much as us little indies do. So make sure you're reporting all of your songs that you write, co-write. Make sure you register them and report those live shows. You can be getting royalties. Number 6, endorsements. So that could mean free or discounted gear, cross promotion on their platforms. For example, I am endorsed by K&K Pickups. Thanks, K&K Pickups. They're great. Where not only are they giving me discounts on the equipment that I'm using to put on the best show possible, but I'm also getting mentioned on their socials and I'm on their website. In terms of endorsements, we've got branded partnerships, payment to hang the logos up, like I said, on the merch table. You could even do a vehicle wrap on tour. You could have branded social media posts, email blasts, or videos where you just like chuck a little ad in there. So those are all ways that endorsements could be helpful. The same thing that festivals do, where they're like, it's the Subaru stage for this festival. You can do the same thing with your little band. It's all about approaching the right brand and making sure that the numbers fit for everybody. You never know if you don't ask. All right, number 7. This one's a personal favorite of mine, thanks to all of my family, friends, and supporters who have been part of crowdfunding. So Kickstarter is the big one, but there's lots of different ways to do a crowdfund. If you have a website with Bandzoogle, you can create a fund through their site. That's their own platform. Or you could just do like a PayPal campaign where you say, hey, the goal is X and we're going to try to hit it. But Kickstarter's great because people have heard of it, and it's that all or nothing model where it does really incentivize people to give or to give more. And doing a crowdfund, it could be to raise money for an album, it could be for tour support, promotion, gear upgrades, photos, videos, or just a rainy day band fund. You can make the kind of music that you want without having this intense pressure of, oh, the studio is going to cost me what? It's going to be what? Crowdfunding. Big fan. Patreon is another way of crowdfunding where I've heard of some bands pay themselves a yearly salary. I'm so distracted. Okay, so with Patreon, what I suggest doing is content that you're going to put out anyway, like new music videos or demos of songs or whatever. You just put them out on the Patreon first. Give yourself like a month of lead time. Now they're quiet. Put your stuff out on Patreon first, and then after it's been out on Patreon for a month or two, you can release it to your YouTube or the general public anyway. But why not give those fans a little glimpse of what you have going on, and then it's going to help you just have that steady monthly income coming in, which is really priceless. Bandcamp you can also use as a crowdfunding platform because you can do an album pre-sale or a merch pre-sale, and that will give you an idea of how many vinyl to press or how many t-shirts you want to run up. The more t-shirts you order, the more of anything you order, the cheaper it gets per unit. Shh. This is potentially derailing my whole thing, guys. It is. It's really distracting. I don't think anyone at home appreciates this. We're on to number 8. Social media influencer. Hey, I hear that's what all the little Gen Z babies want to be when they grow up, is a social media influencer. Well, that means that you can get affiliate marketing income from referrals, which, speaking of, you can click or in the description of this video, and I will have links to some of the companies that I mentioned today. And, you know, if you sign up through my video, then I'll get a little kickback and maybe you'll get a discount. And as you get more followers and you're posting more regularly that kind of content that adds value, boom, you add value for a company, they're going to add value in terms of you getting some money. So, YouTube. Once you get 1,000 followers, you can monetize those YouTube ads they're going to show anyway, and you can also sell your merchandise right there on your YouTube page. Number 9, which is lessons. You can teach lessons if you've mastered an instrument, or even if you haven't mastered it, really, but if you're good enough to teach beginners or adults or whatever, that's something that I know a lot of artists work into touring even, where they're doing like Zoom lessons and making it happen on a flexible schedule. And you know, a lot of lessons are like $60 an hour at least, so it's not a bad way to add a little bit of income to your palette as a musician. Finally, number 10 of multiple streams of income is reselling gear. So we probably all know somebody in our community or musicians who are like, I got too many guitars, like rent is coming up, I need to part with this. Or you can just see on Facebook Marketplace somebody selling something, and if you have the skill set of knowing what something is worth, that means that you can possibly turn around and flip that gear. Taking some Goo Gone to stickers so that you clean them up, or gunky old acoustic guitar, just cleaning it up, putting new strings on it, accurately listing it, taking good photos, and then you can post that for sale on Facebook Marketplace or Reverb. I've even flipped guitars that were for sale at pawn shops where they just didn't realize it was, I think it was a Fender Mexican Strat, where it was like, they didn't really know that they could probably get an extra $200 for this thing, so I just bought it at the pawn shop, took some nice photos of it, listed it on Facebook Marketplace, and made myself $200. But do remember that it takes an investment of time up front, money, and you might have to sit on this gear for a while until you can actually resell it. But I think it is a cool little way to be immersed in music, meet other musicians, and maybe make a little extra money. Alright, so those are my top 10 streams of income. Congratulations, you have made it to the bonus! My bonus tip is tax write-offs. Make sure you get yourself a really good accountant, because even if music isn't your full-time job, if you are making a little bit of money on music and you have 1099 or W-2, hey, all this mileage that I put on my car, or these days that I was in New York, I need a per diem of this much a day. These days that I was in Dallas, maybe it's not going to be as much a per diem as New York City, but you still are entitled to either a daily per diem or like a mileage write-off. Same thing with anyone you've hired to do graphic design or your website or making an album or album promotion, hiring coaches, the list goes on and on. You know that it's an expensive business. That's why you're here on this channel, checking out the streams of income. So make sure you get an accountant who understands the Schedule C way to file your taxes with music being part of your income. Even if you're not technically turning a profit, it should be able to help you on your bottom line to save some money. Yeah, so that's it. Those are my top 10 Sorry about all the dogs. Now that I'm finished, they're nice and calm. I hope this was helpful for you. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit like, subscribe. We'll see you next time. You need 1,000 subscribers to officially monetize, right? Airplane, just like our dreams taking off with all of these multiple streams of income. So, airplanes taking off.